kind of close out some cases or identify some people that are missing persons. Specifically, if we can get some closure for people and get some justice.
A former police officer in Henderson, Nevada.
It says K-Bar and United States Marine Corps. I mean, the truth is, it is a huge knife.
I'm Jenkins. I'm one of the top real estate investors in Las Vegas.
Tell Diana, look, I think that Kellis is going to kill me. Any videos where you have an officer basically, they don't have ID, they can't get into a hotel room. Hey everybody, this is David Kohlmeyer, the Problem Solver, joining you here at Sticky Pod Studios in Las Vegas. Every single week, every other week, we basically bring on some great people, topics, experts to talk about different problems in the community, whether it's Las Vegas or all over the world. Today we have Kara Jenkins joining us to be the future Las Vegas mayor. We have a co-host here, as usual, beautiful.
Hello, thank
Jeanty,
you.
Dr. G in the house.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you.
Dr. G is going to be modeling the elect Kara Jenkins Las
Thank
Vegas
you. I
mayor
appreciate
card.
that. Thank you so much.
We're going to get her a nice lapel pin.
You said you get leaders, you get people, and
Experts, everybody.
experts, and sometimes you get a politician.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hello.
Politicians are people.
Yeah, we are.
So Kara
Remains
Jenkins.
to be seen.
Kara Jenkins, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you so much for being here, Jeanty. I'm really honored to be here. You called me about this, I think, about a month ago. And I made it a priority to be on your podcast because not only do you do so many great things in the community, you represent law enforcement, but you have a great podcast. And I just want to be a part of everything that's great here with Las Vegas. And just thank you for the opportunity to be exposed to your viewers. That really means a lot. So thank you,
Absolutely.
Dave.
Welcome.
Thank you, Jeanty.
You know, these days, with the podcasting in general, I always say that, it's really about the golden, clips that we're going to make here today. Like, whatever topic or something we talk about, those clips can go viral and so on. I mean, no one's watching.
Let's go viral.
No one's watching 60
Absolutely.
minutes of the Problem Solver. So these days, you're cutting these certain clips. So hopefully, Jeanty
Well, we
says
had
something
some, but
intelligent
you
today.
apparently blocked some of those people already.
We blocked them?
The ones that watched 60 minutes of it.
Uh-oh.
So
Don't do that with me, Dave.
Not everybody can last 60 minutes like Jeanty. So long story
why I'm
short,
still here.
we wanted to just talk about, Las Vegas, where things are going in general.
Absolutely.
We wanted to get your opinion, where you stand on certain things.
Sure.
Jeanty basically says she doesn't really get involved that much in politics and so on.
She did say that offline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's
Not so
interesting
much.
is you could have a conversation about what's going on in Las Vegas.
Right.
And that's what we're basically doing it today, especially with a lot of changes that are going on in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 47. I came here when I was 26 from New York City. The place has changed. I think I got old. Actually, my birthday is tomorrow. I'm turning.
Happy birthday.
Happy
I am getting old.
birthday.
No,
Aw.
don't say that. I'm 45. Don't. If you're old, then what does that make me?
young.
No, you young.
You guys are both young.
I'm
You're
turning
young.
48.
Yeah.
Which
That's
I don't
good.
understand how that happened. I came out here when I was 26. Somehow I got old real quickly.
Time passes by when you're having fun.
Yeah, and you look it too. It's okay.
I know. I'm trying the Rogaine, the
Okay.
Klieg moisturizer. I need to go on the.
The skin is good, people. The skin is
semen-
good.
The semen moisturizer.
Yeah,
You need to
I'm
try
using
that.
semen moisturizer.
Yeah, that'll
John
help.
T actually makes that.
Yes, I do.
And then
Oh, wow. Okay.
it's a
For someone who doesn't get out much. Okay. Yeah.
moisturizer and Rogaine is key.
Yeah.
And then I think I need to go on the shots to lose about 30 pounds.
Oh, don't
Somehow-
do that.
No, it's okay.
No. There's like a lawsuit already coming out, a class action for that. Please don't do that.
heard that.
Yeah, don't
Just be
follow.
safe.
Don't follow the crowd.
Safety.
Okay, please.
Try to
Not
follow-
for that.
Follow the
okay?
safety girl.
So hey, Kara. So
Yes,
you're running for
Jeanty.
mayor.
That is.
Okay, I don't
yes,
know
the
too much
plan.
about politics. So when is the actual election?
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Well, there are 14 people also on this ticket. And so this is going to be the first real mayoral election since the Goodmans. And so Carolyn Goodman and her husband together served 24 years. First the husband, then the wife, and now it's this open race. And I've been wanting to do this for about 2 years now.
Right.
A lot of planning and soul searching and actually just having good people around me. Kind of how like you and Dave talk, like I need the truth around me. Can I do this? Is it achievable? Absolutely it is. Is the time right? Am I the right person for the job? Just being really honest about why I wanted to leverage my government skills in service at the mayor local level. And so, I've been wanting to do this for quite some time. And it's finally here. And so funny that you should ask. The primary is June 11th, everybody. Early voting is May 25th. June 7th, May 25th through June 7th. And then you can actually go and vote on the day of the primary, June 11th. And that's the cool thing about Nevada. You can just decide to register, want to vote, and you can go day of and register. But you can go online too and make it easier for yourself and even opt for a mail-in ballot.
Okay.
But it's June.
Awesome.
It is like
That's coming up.
It's like in 60 days or less.
God.
Yeah. I'm actually excited, though, because it's time to get going. We need a primary down to 2 candidates, and the polls have recently showed that it's going to come down to 2 people because the field is so packed. But it really helps, I guess, for me, the candidates, like, focus on kind of your messaging more, and then you just have one opponent. And I know it's not kosher to say, but it's like 1 versus 13, and so you want to kind of just narrow it down and also know what the voters want, because this is not just something to win. It's not a mayor's race just to win. It's also to help and leverage myself in service. And so I'm going to really let the voters decide. My urgency is just getting the word out. So when I bug Dave for donations and things like that, I need mailers, digital ads, and leveraging his platform to even have me talk to potential voters to see if they even want to vote for me is so huge. So thank you guys so much.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
So, remember, I'm trying to learn
Go ahead.
politics right now. So,
You go ahead.
It's a lot like real estate.
yeah. So when you do get elected,
Thank
how
you
long
for
is the
manifesting
term?
that. The terms are 4 years.
Okay, 4
up
years.
to 3 terms.
Got it. Oh, that's
yeah. So hopefully this will be something that I can continue doing. But again, I really do believe that it should be up to the people to choose. It's just we're running out of options. Can we just talk about options, not only just in life and dating, but also the national, state, and local level? Right. What we're seeing is a lot of recycled politicians who go in private rooms and pick what they're going to be. And that's just been the sentiment of this town. Oh, this person's going to be this person's going to be this. But there's no real conversation about new blood, new energy, people who represent the locals. I live in Ward 3. That's the urban core. It's the downtown arts district. I was able to buy by myself, I'm really proud of that, a house that was renovated. It was a 1941 house in Huntridge, and I love it. I have to fix stuff every day.
Sure.
Like YouTube is my friend because I'm always learning how to fix stuff and
That's
the pipes.
good.
But I live with my neighbors. I'm in my neighborhood. I'm in the community. I'm more boots on the ground. I think I'm more relatable. And that just draws me more into my community and what people need. It's nothing like living next to someone who maybe needs to call law enforcement to help, or a first responder to help, or, you see, unfortunately, unhoused or homeless people kind of camping around your neighborhood, and you feel empathy, but then you feel scared too. And just you're seeing all this stuff and you're like, what's our government doing?
Yeah, speaking about
What's our government doing?
the homeless here in Las Vegas, I think you wanted to lead into that?
No, it's actually interesting. It's interesting you just said that, because it is empathy. Like, you feel bad, and at the same time you're scared because you don't want to be a victim of a crime.
Not at all. Absolutely.
And not that every homeless person is basically a bad person. There's a lot of people that look really nice, and recently that I know that are bad people too.
Yes.
So I always feel bad and concerned, but I don't know. I just feel like in California, it's gotten so bad.
Certain cities,
that people
yes.
basically are concerned about Las Vegas, and I'm concerned about the future. Like, for my kids, how's that going to play out? And I know that we have different, homeless camps. I've done one of the great nonprofits out here, which is Shine the Light.
Oh, Shine the Light. Yes, they're amazing.
I've gone out. Actually, I've told several people that
they
if you
go into the
out,
tunnels and they meet people where they're at. They're amazing.
It's insane, actually, because I never went so deep when I was a cop. Basically, I used to go down to help homeless as well, but I went maybe 100 feet.
Right.
I mean, they're going deep. They know the tunnels, right? Like,
right.
They're going really, really deep inside. Personally, I was even nervous. Yeah. A lot of times you go into certain locations where you have bending down a lot. I was actually exhausted by the end of the day walking the tunnels. But some people go that are EMTs, right? They go that someone's injured. But there's people there that are cooking. They have propane tanks. They're
and
cooking.
their pets, too.
Their pets are down there. Like, it's insane. I mean, it's amazing what that nonprofit does, number one.
Yes.
But number two.
Shout out to Shining Light.
Yes. And the second thing really comes down to is that, how do you really make the change?
Oh, it's doable.
It's doable. Tell me what you think.
Oh, it's so doable.
Yeah, how
if
do
you
you
could just
solve
do
that
anything, how do
problem?
you solve it?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So will you start by collaboration? One of the things that I want to just preface by saying is that being in government, for a government executive for over a decade, 14 years, 12 in 13 actually in Nevada, you never ever feel like people kind of know what it is to be a government worker. And no one's ever leaving your office saying, that was the best experience of my life. I love government. I just love, they helped me. It was easy. It was easy to access. They answered my questions. They returned my phone calls. that is something that, at the local level, there's always streamlining that needs to happen, and that's paired with innovation and collaboration. So for that example, it's like, okay, we can do that with modernization and technology and software. With the homelessness, it's kind of a parallel. It's like you can't just be in city government and think that the people in that room or sitting on city council have all the answers. You have to collaborate.
Agreed.
Mental health experts, social services, private entities, people with money, nonprofits. Because unfortunately, if we don't, then our law enforcement gets pulled into doing a job that's not necessarily theirs in terms of trying to mitigate situations that have gone out of hand and unchecked. And so I've seen other cities do this. And so your question is, how do we solve homelessness? Well, it's a multi-pronged approach, but we start by getting people out of these tents and encampments and putting them in housing that the city can buy. We have so many lots that the city and motels and condemned buildings that we can actually purchase and basically triage veterans, women and small children. We can put people in spaces where, number one, they have dignity in housing, because not only is it something where people who are housed feel uncomfortable with. Think about being the person who's got to have a propane tank and live in a tunnel to survive. There's got to be some dignity and empathy in that, and that goes on the lines with my Christian principles, my values, just what I believe in helping our fellow man. But also, when you get folks who are in housing and you get them safe, then they can collect themselves, and then now we can put services toward that need. I think a lot of challenges with social services is that people are transient, and the person you talked to yesterday, they may not be there the next day. I don't know if that was your experience, Dave, when you were in the tunnels. It's like IDs are crucial. We take it for granted that we have IDs, but most of these people don't have an ID. You need an ID for a job. You need an ID for basically everything. Right. And so when you can actually identify where people are, then you can send services to them, and then we can start addressing the need. And it's based on, well, I have to say, I'd probably declare a state of emergency day one on the job so I could pull down federal dollars and get going, and then talk to the city manager and say, let's look at the budget. Where can we, and we have money in that budget. Where can we carve out money and buy some properties that the city can manage and maintain, and start putting people not in a corridor or just ignoring them or putting out ordinances that criminalize homelessness, but actually getting them housed. And then we work there. And that's really what it is. That's the start.
I just feel that everybody always says the same exact thing that you say over the years.
Really? I feel like I'm the first one that said it.
Yeah.
No, I worked
out of my opponents. I feel like I'm the first one that's saying it.
I worked at the city of Henderson, and they tried to collaborate as well. They didn't really do anything. The only thing they did do was they didn't want to have a shelter there because they didn't want people to come to the city of Henderson in order to basically bring homeless.
It has to be a shared responsibility amongst all cities.
That's why these cities don't want to open up a shelter, because they're going to come. If you build it, they will come. So
shelter's different than housing, and so we talk about attainable housing, affordable housing, and unhoused people. And so I don't care how you package it. That's another thing. I am nonpartisan. So what that means, the mayor's seat is traditionally nonpartisan, meaning I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. If you live in Vegas, I got your back. I'm with the Vegas party. For reals. But one of the things that's super important is making sure that you can align with different groups to find solutions to house people. We have very partisan politics, even at the local level.
What is being done now? Do you know?
There was an ordinance that was passed that basically said if you are hanging out outside of a business and loitering there, then you can either go to jail for 6 months, so we now make it a correctional problem, or you have to pay a $1,000 fine.
That was the new ordinance that was downtown in the city of Las Vegas.
2 of my opponents voted yes on that.
And that's where the new signs are, like the signs downtown.
For the homeless people? That's what they're going to impose?
So basically it's just you go to jail if you're homeless.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know how that solves a problem for our law enforcement, our marshals, our metro police officers, our people who are unhoused, or the people in the neighborhoods, because I'm going to tell y'all, when I first got this house that I was talking about, I was in escrow, and it was a really exciting time for me because the house was newly renovated, and I was so excited to get in. My realtor called me, and she said, don't freak out. I was like, what? They didn't approve my counteroffer? What is it?
Someone broke in.
Someone was sleeping there. They squatted. And they bashed in the door, and they said, we're going to fix it. We're going to take care of it. Again, Dave, I felt torn. On the one hand, I was like, I haven't even slept in that house yet. That $300,000 house that I bought. But then I was like, well, hopefully that person had a good night's rest.
Right.
Because they were so desperate they had to just squat in my house. Hopefully they were safe that night. God bless them, move on. But it's just more indicative of a problem. We can't look away. If you're in Summerlin, if you're in Henderson, if you're in Boulder, if you're in downtown Arts District, it's everywhere now. Yeah. And so when you start seeing symptoms of any condition, whether you're just sick or whatever, you just, okay, I need to start treating this. If not, what happens? Wounds fester and they grow. And so one of the things that I'm not seeing, and I hope that I'm showing you on this and your viewers, Dave, is that I'm the person who's going to tackle it. I have no problem to do so. I've seen it work. And the big lie is that we can't ever solve this. But I don't see progress if we're dealing with the same problems every election cycle, every 5 years. You know what I want? I want a new set of problems because I know I've tackled the other problems. Yeah. That's progress. Give me new problems. That means I've tackled all this other stuff. And that's just how I've always been in government. My state service, I serve under the current governor now, and I've served for several governors, but it's always been, how do we make it easier for our customers? How do we make it easier for the public to access us? How do we get out of their way? And how do we fix things? New problems are a good thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, is it challenging, though, being in office and having to tackle some of these issues? I mean,
yes, I'm very tired.
Is it quick?
Very tired.
But do things happen quickly, though? Because it seems like,
no.
You have
You're
only
right.
4 years, right?
Right.
And, I don't know how long it takes to get funding, approval, all that stuff, right? And by the time that maybe you're getting going, it's already over.
Right, and that's where you run for re-election. But you want to put together systems that are long-lasting so you can pass the torch to whoever inherits. So that's like the kind of thing that I love about, just our process in democracy is that you're supposed to turn over everything to the next so that everything that you have done, someone can just go in and pick up.
Right.
And that's kind of how I operate in business, too. I don't ever want to lead where I don't create an opportunity for the next person, I guess not my predecessor, but the person coming after me can just say, okay, cool. I like what she did. I didn't like what she did. Now it's my turn to try to, make this work. That's what you do.
Right. And you hope they have the same ideals as you, right? To follow through, right?
Yes, ideally, selfishly, yes.
Yes.
You want people, you see progress and you see initiatives that you've created and you kind of want people to champion that, but you understand that people have a choice and some people just don't agree with you no matter how hard you make them try to see your point of view, and that's also being American. It just is. But I think we all can agree that homelessness, a thriving city, getting Vegas to be on par, to be a world-class city where it's going, we all agree on that. And that's the cool thing about the mayor seat. It's nonpartisan. I don't have to worry about wars that are happening where there's just a no-win answer on how you defend whatever side you take up for. I don't have to talk about, certain rights that I think are very valuable for women. I don't have to get in those conversations and even try to justify my religious beliefs. The mayor is really about potholes, parks, thriving city, good jobs, nice schools, not even nice, good schools, a place where 10, 15, 25 years down the road, we are an innovative city. We're forward thinking. We got good jobs here. People want to come here. You come to Vegas, and that's just kind of where I want to be now in my career. And I think I can leverage that with all the collaboration that we talked about with private public partnerships, not just leaning on city knowledge or government knowledge because we don't have all the solutions. For all these problems that we're talking about, it takes collaboration.
It's interesting with being downtown the last few years that I noticed that the alleyways are like it's this homeless city there, and it's really sad because I watch what's going on, or they're sleeping on the stairs and so on. But it's a whole new world. I kind of feel like because of the signs that the city did, that it pushed the people to the alleyways. So you don't see them on the main street, but if you go on the back street, it's like a whole reality show that's taking place in general.
Right.
And then honestly, these days, calling the police just seems like it takes forever. Or if you say they're homeless, they're not really coming,
Yeah.
So that's a problem with that downtown. And I noticed there's more private security taking over downtown Vegas as well, which they're trying to help out in regards to the homeless situation as well. But I thought that 2000, I guess this last year, that there was some type of program like 2024. There was 2024 homes that they were trying to get homeless. I thought there was some type of grant or program. Did you hear about anything with that? There was some program. No, I don't know. I never really looked into, but I heard there was some program. The goal was to get 2024 people homeless.
That
off
sounds
the
like a
street
great
into a home.
aspirational
but I don't know whatever
That's
happened with it.
24 people? That's not enough.
2000.
Oh, 2,000.
For the year. Yeah. And so we
That's
have
it. 24. There's only about 50
You
people
said
homeless.
24, right?
2000, like the year's 2024, 2024 people that were homeless to get them off the street,
okay.
which sounds good. Sounds like collaboration. Sounds like you're helping people. I don't know what happened with that program.
Right.
Do you think people just pocket the money? Like, seriously?
You tell me.
You're looking
I
at
mean,
me.
You're the-
I mean, does that happen?
I'm,
though?
You're the
I'm
one
the
that works in government.
I'm the non-politician. I feel like there should be full
It's like
transparency in the budget.
the non-anti-lawyer.
Exactly, the non-lawyer here too. But I don't think people can like legally pocket the money. I just think it's motivation. I will tell you this. I was at a town hall meeting with some residents from Ward 5, which is traditionally lower income and more marginalized. And there's a whole back history with the residents in Ward 5 and how when we had segregation here in the city, all the black performers, including Sammy Davis and the black residents, were told to live there.
Yes.
I was at a town hall and they were discussing where's our innovation, where's our downtown, where's our arts district, where's everything happening for us. We see Summerlin, we see all these other. What about us? We have great signs that say "Welcome to Historic West Side," but that's it. And so, a legislator who I respect got up and told it like it was, because again, I'm also listening in my process. I'm not a leader that just talks. I want to listen too, because I don't have all the answers. Another reason why you need collaboration. But a legislator who I really respect got up and said, during COVID, when there was all this opportunity to draw down federal dollars through the American Rescue Recovery Act, or it's called ARPA funds, certain justifications to get that grant money were used, like Ward 5. Ward 5 was used as the model to, we really need resources. There's no digital here. We need to have opportunities for internet usage, and just they're more marginalized, and so COVID hit them, impacted them by triple, whatever the justification was. However, it was said by this legislator that the money was secured, but they were the last ones to see the dollars. So the money came in on behalf of these residents, but they haven't seen the spending yet. So I don't know.
See?
I don't know what's going on. I'm not there yet, but I want to get involved. And I think also too, with council and being in the mayor's seat, it's a platform to kind of speak truth to power. But the city managers, they are the ones that look at the budget. They're the ones that do the administrative work and city workers. And I have staff that works for the state. They work incredibly hard, but it really boils down to leadership and who is overseeing those budgets. So I've not heard that there was anything that was done, untoward, but you hear these stories and you can't help but see a trend and wonder. I think the question was very rational.
Yeah.
Can't help but wonder, why not? Why not that district? Why not?
It seemed like they have some plans for that area. I know those lots were for sale. They were cheap. I don't know. I don't really follow it all, but
You'll have
it
to
just
ask
seems
my
like
opponent to come on your podcast and ask him.
I would think that the area north of, of
Fremont
downtown,
Street? Okay.
that if you just expanded that, you know what I'm saying? Like if you just, like if you like bought some homes up and you just
Again,
make
common
them
sense.
Remember-
Yeah, common sense.
Well, remember that what Tony, what's his name?
Tony Hsieh?
Yeah, the one that passed. Where
Yes.
he was
He was
developing
super
that
innovative.
whole area. Yeah, but now
He was going more east, but I was saying more north.
north. Well, he was
is
going
the west.
north,
It's the
east.
west.
Yeah,
When they say west district,
West
he's
not
on the
really-
west side. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're on the west side.
I live in Ward 3. That's more east and
Oh, it's
downtown.
east side? Okay,
yeah,
got it.
I'm really close to Charleston, the Arts
Rancho?
District, and
Charleston Rancho.
Oakey. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so that we have seen investment, but still, there's
Yeah.
things that we're waiting.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are we waiting? I will say this: I've met Zena Wang. She's amazing. She's like the next Tony Hsieh. She's an investor and developer out of Manhattan/San Francisco, and she has this whole model called attainable housing downtown. You guys have got to look her up. You got to have her on your show, but she is really investing in downtown. She's not waiting for government to buy the property. She just bought it all up with her investors, and they're basically looking at city living in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I'm still waiting for a grocery store downtown. I still go to Henderson. Shout out to Trader Joe's in Green Valley. You guys are my
far.
heart. Yeah, but there's no grocery store downtown, and so
goodness.
that I could really go to.
Yeah.
But when I was talking to Zena about what she meant by attainable housing and how she sees city living in Vegas, she says, I want you to think future forward, Kara. She's like, who cares about a grocery store when we can, have people bring you groceries?
True.
I want people to live, work, play in downtown. So you won't need a grocery store. You just need to have a really great place to live, and you may not even need a car. Right. So the car insurance, the car note, all that stuff, shave all that off and put it towards housing that you're proud of. They call it attainable housing. I don't care how you brand it, whether it's attainable, affordable, or low income. People need a house.
Show me the houses.
Yeah, people just need a place to live. Right. You have homes, you can sustain a family. There's data that shows you have a house, and you know this, you're in real estate. Guess what happens? You build generational wealth in your family. Right. Your kids have structure. They're going to school. You feel safe. There's a better cohesive family unit. And see, for the mayor, that's what we want. We want people to thrive here and live here and stay. And so I'm all for whatever you want to call it. Let's just get people here housed and that they're happy so that they stay.
So your friend is going to invest and actually start
She's
doing
done
that
it.
on her own? Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
yeah, it's downtown.
Did she buy out Tony Hsieh's old property? Because I heard someone bought it out and actually demolished it because he had tiny houses. He had a tiny house community or something.
Zena is
but it's been demolished.
I
do something
I have
else,
to look it up, and I'll get it to Dave. But
Okay.
she didn't buy Tony Hsieh's property. She went and just bought her own whole block.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good.
she is a force.
that's awesome.
Zena is awesome.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, the Goodmans, I think, did a decent job, though, cleaning up downtown this last few years, don't you think?
I don't really know. I really can't answer that. I don't really know.
Oh, did you
Do
see
think
it
was worse?
before? Yeah, did you see it like 10, 15 years ago? It was really
I've
bad.
seen
It
but
was worse.
I don't really know.
Okay.
Like, I
Because
was
they
born in
made
Henderson, I guess.
Well, they made Fremont
Okay.
much safer, because before, I mean, even Fremont Street was like really, really bad and people didn't want to go there. So, I mean, you're aware of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, they did a decent job. But we need more, obviously, more people to do more things.
I guess
there.
it just depends upon the areas. But like I said, I guess I was born in Henderson. I really didn't look as much.
What kind of cop are you? Like,
I
really?
was in Henderson.
You're like privileged
looking-
Henderson
Water Street
cop.
is looking really good, by the way. I was just there on Water Street. It was looking really, really nice.
The crazy thing about it is that I'm here 21 years. Like nothing was going on for 21 years. They were trying for a long time. They were trying to keep out the McDonald's, the corporate, the franchising stuff like
Right.
that.
More small businesses.
But before myself, the other 20 years, nothing was going on too. So it's taken like 50 years to finally get what you got going on over there. Probably now.
That's
I
true.
haven't been down there that street in a while, but I know there's more things going on.
Yeah,
with,
there's some great bars. I know people were there for St. Patrick's Day, and there's some coffee shops there. It's a whole vibe.
It is.
The biggest thing they were saying to bring, it didn't really work out yet. I think the Nevada State College to bring like more college students, in that
We
corridor.
need to. We're hoping to do that.
And then basically, but it was there. It's up on Water Street, but for some reason they haven't had like the housing of the college housing
Students need a place
to make it like a
stay.
street, like
Yeah.
Henderson.
Well, you have a lot of
like a Henderson College.
but you have a lot
You
of
gotta have Deborah
single-family
March on here.
residents.
Mayor of Henderson.
Henderson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been. Is she still the? I thought it changed.
I think it's still Deborah March.
I
Yeah.
thought it changed. No,
We
am I
don't
wrong?
even know.
Well, I'm really focused on Vegas, so
I feel like I
And
lost.
Yeah.
first of all,
I lost touch with these.
Henderson or North Las Vegas is not even that far
I'm gonna have
away.
to
Like
Google it.
literally, like
Right.
5-10
That's a
minutes, and we
Google.
don't even know.
that's all good.
I talked to Jerry Schroeder, who used to be the Henderson City Councilwoman.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a long
See,
time.
you're more political than you thought.
No,
She's like,
no,
oh,
I'm
the
just-
streets over
politics,
here.
yeah,
She's like
politics.
Goodman
Because
over
it's real
here. She's like,
estate. That's because it's
she had
real
to throw out the
estate,
Goodman
you know?
names. Like, yeah, Goodmans. They would
They
take
were
care of
amazing. Hey, we love
Yeah.
the Goodmans. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. But their reign is really going to end in June. 24 years collectively. Job
I'm
well
surprised
done.
that the Sons
Pass the torch.
didn't take over. Like I was always waiting for like, I think they have like two sons. Like
Do they?
one of
Yeah,
them
they
to
have a
pop
daughter
up.
named Kara too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a good sign.
awesome.
So I could have swore that one of those people were going to pop up and say, "Oh, I'm running for mayor again."
That's
Okay.
because you know the culture here.
Well, it's the whole.
You know the culture.
What's the word? The last name, the incumbent name.
Yes,
you know.
but you know
Okay.
the culture.
But Vegas is all about.
Well,
who
it's
you
like that
know,
all over
right?
these days. Like, it's like a family thing. Like the Reeds. It's
Sure.
like they keep popping up for politics.
yeah, I have no family ties. I just love Vegas.
Okay, let's jump to policing.
Yes.
Okay. These days, I feel that things are getting more dangerous in general. So again, same thing from California. People coming here, people being more bold. After COVID, basically, it just seems like people don't want to work anymore. Like there's been a shift, it's kind of a weird shift. But I am concerned about the safety situation. I do feel like
Talk
these
to me.
days that anything kind of goes. I mean, I don't live in the city of Las Vegas. I live up in Desert Shores, which I
Okay.
don't think
Oh,
it covers.
That is Las
Is that covered
Vegas.
as well?
Yeah.
I know there's a certain like cutout or something. I
Yeah.
never look. But I just feel it's very
He wants to feel
difficult.
special or something.
Yeah.
No, I was cut out like I was not a part of it or something.
That's
Yeah,
for
you're
sure.
part of Las
I believe you're
Vegas.
Ward 4.
Okay.
Yeah, you are.
So-
You are my constituent, sir. I hope to earn your vote.
All right. So here's the problem that I have in regards to crime and the policing. So I was a cop for 17 years.
Thank
Long
you
story
for your
short, the other day,
service.
someone goes in through the gated community, which of course gated community means absolutely nothing. I called the police. I'm like, look, there's people casing the location. They just jumped in the car. They're wearing masks. They're driving
Oh,
out
wow,
of the
that's
community.
scary.
Long story short, I started chasing them, in my car. And I'm following them and I called the police.
Dave.
Well, he was a cop, right? So
Yeah,
he feels.
but
So
okay.
it's still
feels
it's still in the
It's
blood.
still
right?
in you.
I
Yeah.
call in. I'm like, look, I'm behind this car. Here's the license plate number. There's 3 males that are inside. I'm going northbound. Like, there's no police available. I'm like, so I keep following them a little bit. They're like, all right, please stop. Don't follow. Don't do it. I'm like, look, if this was your community, you would probably follow them too. And I followed them for about 15 minutes, hoping and praying that some cop is going to be free, whatever he's doing. I like
Right.
to make a donut joke, but cops do like donuts. I don't know if the cop was having a donut or not at the time, but there was no cops available.
None.
I am saying I'm a retired police officer. I am following a car that they just attempted to break into someone's home. Sorry, there's no cops available. So to
a
me,
resource issue.
I felt, as a retired cop, like it's my community, like I'm a
Yeah.
victim. Like, what do I need to do? I have to start walking around with an AR-15 in my community, my HOA community, because basically there's no policing. Now we have some private security, which is BS as well, because it's one guy driving around and he's not even driving like at a speed that you would see someone's breaking in.
Right.
So the security is not the best of a situation, but it's better than, for deterrent wise.
You guys don't carry AR around in your neighborhood like mine?
These days, when I walk out, honestly, if I walk out to my car like at 1 o'clock in the morning or something, like to get something, I mean, honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. Someone, went into my car the other day, with 3 kids. Basically, the car either was locked, and with new technology right now, I'm a little bit concerned as well because I've heard some
Wait,
stories.
were your kids in the car when they're trying to break in?
No.
Okay, good.
But
God,
basically,
yeah.
we left the door unlocked,
Okay.
and they took a bag or something like that. Or I'm noticing there's some new technology out there where they're unlocking car doors. So that's another situation. So I'm just very
Kias
concerned.
are big targets.
Yeah,
for
the
that.
Kia and the
Oh, yeah.
what's the other one? Kia, and there's another one too.
Yeah, my cousin was here for a Raiders game, and they were parked, and the Kia got.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So I guess what's your take?
I support law enforcement.
On recruiting,
Everyone always
maybe?
says that they
Yeah.
support law enforcement. That's great.
I
My
do.
question to you is, what do we do?
Well, it sounds
to
like
solve-
it's like a resource issue, right, Dave? You're calling, and no one's available. It's clearly a resource issue. One of the things that you'll see in trends, I hate to speak data and be a nerd right now, is that when the economy is not doing so hot, crime rises. You see an increase in crime. So as mayor, you have the opportunity to support the city marshals and the Las Vegas Metro Police Department and the sheriff. And so one of the things that we have the biggest carve out in our budget is for law enforcement and safety. You cannot have a thriving city that I talk about, this utopia about a thriving city, if people are doing what Dave's having to do, get in his car and basically troll out the bad actors. We definitely need to push for a safer city. And it's supporting law enforcement. And I got to tell you, recruitment's a challenge. We need to recruit more cadets, more people who are interested in serving. I'm going to ask you a question. What made you want to serve for 17 years? That drive in you to protect, it's still in you now. That's something that also is missing, I think. And so we have to get people excited about serving and protecting. But at the expense of, potentially risking your life. That's why I say thank you for your service. It's not lost on me for all of our law enforcement men and women that when they go out there and protect and serve, that they may not come home to their families and making sure that their families, if there are survivors, are taken care of. It is a very big deal. And so I think it's a big part of that is recruiting more because it's a resource issue.
Right.
Budgetarily, there's a huge carve out in the budget for law enforcement. I just think it's getting people. I think Metro's doing a good job. I follow their page on social media. They're constantly recruiting cadets and trying to get even different types of folks into law enforcement. Maybe you're not boots on the ground, maybe you're not patrol, but maybe you're cybersecurity, maybe you're forensics. But that's probably what I'm thinking. It's just a resource issue. Even in state government, in my role, that we won't talk about here because I have to keep that separate. It is very difficult to recruit right now.
Okay.
The pay is just not.
Oh, it's the salary, right? It's
the pay is just not
Okay.
competitive.
Okay.
Someone said
Or
the other
not
day
desirable.
to me, I met with a security company the other day. They mentioned that these days people don't want to become a police officers, but they'd rather actually become a security guard, which I'd never heard that
Yeah, that's
phrase.
thank
that
you for
they'd
that.
rather
Never heard
they'd
that.
rather not be a police officer to be like in the public, but security is different for like, for a
Why did
certain
you want to
community.
become a cop? Tell me.
My goal was to help people, but I
Yeah.
think that I don't know, that's been lost. I feel like at COVID we lost a lot of things.
COVID took a lot of shine off a lot of things.
Nobody. Well, these days with cameras and so on going on, people basically just don't want to be.
Maybe they need to do more like the heartfelt campaign. Like in the old days for recruitment. I don't know.
I think they do all that stuff. I mean, the truth is probably for money.
The military used to do that.
The more money, basically making it more of the risk versus reward.
Having good pension, life insurance.
I mean, those things do exist right now in general. But it has to be more in order to
basically. Can you actually market that though? Can you build a campaign?
The government does. They basically say, we've got good benefits.
I mean, there's bonuses and there's different things that you could do in general. I mean, I was just curious. I know I'm putting you on the spot.
That's what a podcast is.
Yeah,
that's okay.
The biggest is if you ask me personally, I would say you got to raise the money situation in order to basically make it really lucrative to be a police officer, to work some graveyard shift and being off Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday in the middle. When I first started out, I worked 6 at night till 2 in the morning.
And God bless you for doing it for 17 years. You need that time off because you go 25, 17 years. And my one friend, who's a dear friend and advisor, he was in law enforcement. He said he had to stop because he was just not nice to his family. He was changing. He found himself changing, and so there's so much more in serving in law enforcement. So thank you for that because people they take it for granted. They take it so.
Why don't they make it more like firemen, right? Because I hear the benefits for being a fireman is amazing, and everyone likes to join that because they don't work very much, but they get paid a lot of money or something like that. They should make it competitive with that.
She likes firemen, so that's why.
Well, I buy the calendar.
She buys the
Yeah, no, I don't.
Charity calendar for
absolutely.
It's a totally different job.
Hey, it's for charity.
Yeah. The whole point, she's always carrying the calendar with her.
It's for charity.
I got the calendar. I got the fire calendar. So, it's a totally different job. Fighting the fire and fighting crime is totally different. I mean, I remember in New York City when
I'm talking about incentive, though,
the different incentive is you're not fighting crime and people, you're fighting a fire. I mean,
which is kind of scary because that, fire, there's a whole science
with
behind
the fire,
that.
you could blow a hose with water into the house. But when there's shooting, you got to go in, right? When there's an active shooter, you have to go into the location.
Especially for our schools.
With a fire, you could watch it unless there's someone inside.
Unless you have to go save someone from the fire.
But it's most of the times people are out of the house most of the times. But sometimes you have to go in general.
Different degrees of difficulty, but
their shift is different, but it's a different type of job. I mean, it's totally different. It's like UPS, you know what I mean? It's like,
is it? Okay, all right.
It's just different. But I will say,
I'm biased.
I'm trying to help with the
firemen do nothing.
Dave, I have a question for Dave.
Dave,
I have a question. What borough are you from?
I grew up in Queens.
Queens,
New York, and then I was a cop in Brooklyn and also Manhattan.
BK, Brooklyn.
Yeah, so I remember seeing firemen. It was really hot and humid in New York City. They were like fighting a fridge.
Very hot and humid.
There was a fridge. They were fighting because they were trying to get it out because
in Vegas or New York.
In New York City.
Okay.
And I was sitting in the patrol car and I'm like, look at these firemen. They're like fighting this fridge over there.
Dude,
and we were inside. We were inside getting some air conditioning, but it's not an easy job. It's a hard job as well for firemen. But I'm just joking around.
I'm just trying.
We always have the cops and fire always go back and forth.
Ideas. I'm just
they have that,
ideas
and they
out.
have that with the military too.
Yeah,
Army, Navy,
right,
Air Force.
I used to walk into the fire guys, and basically, when I was a cop, and they're like sitting there, they're making food, they're like they're camping out, they're having fun, they're hugging each other, in the back room and stuff like that. It's just a totally different world.
Don't be mad because you couldn't make the calendar, okay?
Actually,
I think maybe is that what this is?
No, it's actually funny.
Right
Dave, do we need to get you on a calendar?
I will share a funny story because Jackie doesn't know the story. When they do the Henderson, it was the Clark County Fire. The Byrne Foundation does a fundraiser every single year.
Yes.
And it's a bachelor auction, whatever it may be. I went one year to help out. I wore a shirt that said fireman, and I helped out as a fundraiser. And it was all women that were there. And they were all like, oh, you're a fireman.
I go there
touching
every year.
me and stuff like that every year.
Yeah.
So it was actually interesting.
So you liked it?
I was playing. It was a lot of older. It was a lot of older women. Let's just say that liked firemen that were there.
Yes.
So it was interesting helping out.
Women like men, no matter what age they are. What does older women have to do with it?
Right?
Well, it was
someone whose birthday is tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. but I was younger then, right? I was younger than when I was doing it. So it was the Byrne Foundation. They do it every single year. You probably know the guy. His name is I forgot his name now. Is it Tony now?
Well, see, so that's a good idea, though. So have something like that for the police officers.
Which part's that?
The part that we were just talking about.
The calendar?
The calendar or the fundraiser.
They have all this stuff.
Have them do
it's
a
already
strip
out there in
off or
general.
something. No, I've never heard of that.
Never heard of it?
With police officers.
I'll put you on the list.
I will go.
So here's the story.
Put you on the list.
All I'm going to say is
Wait,
this. If
question.
you offer more money,
Dave.
more incentives, like any other job, working at 7-Eleven, if
Agreed.
you're offering $150,000 a year with a crazy schedule, you could be shot at the front counter.
So 100 grand is
is
not
it worth
enough?
the value?
100 grand is not enough?
These days, honestly, they want more money in general
Okay.
because
I'm going to tell you
lifestyle.
this: the median or the mean income for the city of Las Vegas residents is $61,000 for a family of 4.
Oh, okay. The median income. Okay. Not for law
mean,
enforcement,
no.
though.
So
Okay.
people are really operating in different and certain situations, which is
Yeah.
when you have a down economy, it just don't be surprised. So how did it end? You chasing these people? What?
Going back to that story.
I do. I
what
need to
story's
know
that?
before
The
I
story-
go. We have
Okay.
like 2 minutes. Like I need to know how it
So,
ended. How this ended.
Long story short, I mean, just share the information that,
They
with
just
law
said,
enforcement. Nothing
don't-
really happened. They
don't
just said to
pursue.
really don't pursue.
Yeah.
So it's not a good situation. So
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I-
you got 3 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
it
need you to
wasn't-
survive.
It wasn't worth it. But I do go out now with the gun, when I go to the car and
Well,
because you just don't know.
You can
Open
carry.
carry.
You can
You just
carry in
don't
the
know.
I
state.
love open carry.
I mean, you get a little bit more paranoid because you don't know who's outside. You need more lighting and stuff like that. All right, jumping to a question. This is an unusual question to ask you.
Okay.
In different counties, prostitution is considered legal. Years back, when Neonopolis downtown basically wasn't doing well, are you familiar with Roshi, who owns downtown Neonopolis?
Is that a brothel?
No, it's not.
It's that one.
It's Neonopolis. Where when you go down from Fremont, it's that whole
It's a whole building that has there's a theater
Bars.
in there.
Okay,
IHOP's
I'm
over
wondering
there.
where we're going with the
Yeah.
prostitution
Okay.
thing. Okay.
supposedly
Make that connection.
Supposedly with the Goodmans, someone said they should make that a red light district.
Oh.
That they should make
Oh, like in
prostitution
France.
legal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
or
in these
Netherlands.
like in these other countries, that would be good for downtown. Mm-hmm. And because that area, Neonopolis, was just kind
It's
of
the east
abandoned.
part of Fremont Street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was abandoned, that area. My question to you is, since other counties are basically have prostitution legal,
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts in regards to downtown making prostitution legal in that corridor?
I don't know if
Sounds-
you know this, Dave, but sex workers exist now,
Okay.
whether we make it legal or not. So you have policy and you have jurisdiction and ability to make something happen. Then you have real life.
True.
So it's happening now. A couple things.
The reason why I bring it up is with other counties in this state, right? that
Sure,
are legal.
Washoe and Carson.
If it's legal there,
Washoe and
is it
Clark
benefiting those counties?
And Nye. Right?
Washoe and Clark do not have legal prostitution. That is something that is dealt at the state and federal, the state level, and the governor. That the mayor doesn't do that. But I have to deal with the realities of what happens on the Strip, city of Las Vegas. You know what my biggest concern is? That these workers are safe and they're okay. No crime results from the behavior that's going to happen, whether we stop it or not. We can have ordinances and laws, and I respect that. I respect the rule of law. I respect law enforcement. And but at the same time, you have to live in reality. And so my main question is that, are people safe doing it? Are you protecting yourselves? Do we have good hospitals and healthcare facilities for victims of rape, or if someone gets pregnant, they have options? That is more my concern. I don't. What people do privately, again, is something that they choose to do. City Hall can't stop all of it, and me being mayor can't stop what's already happening. And so me, kind of giving my opinion on that, I respectfully don't have one.
Okay.
I'm just more about what's good for the people. I mean, it's not even something that I can even do anything
Oh, you
about.
couldn't, okay.
Yeah,
you couldn't legalize.
No, I could
that
not
over there.
No,
Okay.
that is at the state level and the
Okay.
governor.
Okay, good.
And I don't ever think that we would ever have legal prostitution, in my opinion, in Clark or Washoe. But other areas like Pahrump, and they have it, and people do well there, and they travel there, and it is their business. I say people have sex
Girl,
for
they
free
don't do
all the
well
time.
there. Yeah, that's true.
People have sex for free all the time, but
Might as well make some money.
The reason why I bring it up, it's interesting because I never thought that I'm here 21 years now. I never thought that my 7-Eleven, now is a marijuana dispensary location. I mean, I feel a little awkward driving by, and my kids are like, "What is that?" Like, what?
Legal here.
Like, what do you say? Oh, it's a location you can go get drugs.
like spirits.
Like,
they had the big prohibition with alcohol, and that was a big thing. And so, you had the feds from San Francisco coming here to check in Vegas to make sure, but they were on wagon and horse, so it took a while. So then all the mobsters would hide the liquor because they knew the feds from from San Francisco were coming in town. And then look, now alcohol is a beautiful thing.
everywhere.
It's a spirit. You have to. I think with everything, you have to use common sense and be responsible with your usage and be safe. And so we balance having a good time in the city with safety, whether it's drinking or smoking or taking an edible. I know that there was some legislation last session to try to make mushrooms legal. And let me tell you why that interests me. Because a lot of vets who have PTSD prefer mushrooms than they do the pills that are prescribed to them. See, I'm always looking at not
it's interesting, that part.
Yeah, not looking at the kind of sensationalism or the provocative nature of what something can affront you with, but what's the reason behind it?
Yeah.
It's either going to work or it's not. Let's have a conversation. And will it help people? And then you balance it with, responsible use. And I will just say that. With prostitution, though, that's a dynamic that I'm not really well versed in, but it's just, I don't think it's ever going to be legal
And the reason why I bring
Clark
it up,
County.
the reason why I bring it up too, also because if you decriminalize it, then maybe you have less crime or less abuse.
Oh, we've seen
in
studies.
general, just like the marijuana situation.
Yeah,
right?
we've seen studies with that.
Now marijuana basically is legal, that people aren't selling it or on the street, or less gun violence because there's some type of drug deal going on in the street.
Right.
That you actually have less violence in general. And the thing was, in Oregon, everything's basically becoming legal, right? Mushrooms, all these things are becoming legal. The question is, does that make society better? Does that make a downtown area like City of Las Vegas
That's what you all voters have to
better?
decide. That's up to the voters.
I get scared because the voters are changing, right? The generation's changing, where everything is acceptable.
Well, it's still us.
Even right now, new sign that's come.
Still
the new
X and millennials.
what do you call it? The new you could have a drink with marijuana. The new consumption lounges, right?
Oh yeah, well,
You could
because
have
right now
drinks.
usage
Oh,
right
yeah.
now is you have to do it privately in your house.
Like it's just.
But
I
now
feel like
they're
every year it's getting like
is it?
less and
Now
less.
they can have actual lounges where you can.
We can go for a drink
Yeah.
right now with marijuana inside.
Oh,
it.
okay.
We can have a drink inside.
Hey, we're
Yeah.
going to be Amsterdam soon here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And it's kind of an interesting topic because, like I said, how far do we go? How far is society changing? Or, is it good, is it bad for the city in the long run?
Yeah.
I get concerned. And these days, there's a lot more DUI, I think, deaths that are taking place. Every day, you wake up where 3 people were killed, 2 people killed, car drove in here. So I'm worried about people
Responsible
consuming
use.
marijuana or now drinking. You see now the new billboard says dazed, what do you call it, Planet 13. Now you can go get cocktails. Is that person leaving and then going to kill somebody? My family, my kids. Today I'm telling my kids, you got to wear a seatbelt even more because people are more on drugs and they're drinking now of this stuff, right?
I think that's been our existence too in Vegas too. It's like a 24-hour town, so you have to just be very mindful. When I first moved out here, it was years ago, like 14 years ago. Like, oh gosh, it was like 2:00 in the afternoon, and I was able to survive and swerve around a drunk driver. I'm like, well, it's 2:00.
Yeah. Well, people do it already anyways, right? And it's been going on for a long time. And so legalizing it, I guess, is another way of profiting and, monetizing it. I mean.
Are you familiar with the, because I know, your other day job we won't talk about, but they used to say that the marijuana money that was supposed to go towards the schools, I would bring up this question all the time, like
where's it going?
Where is that money? I mean, why?
Not to our.
If we do all the drug situation, shouldn't we just take the money of the future lottery, and just take it and put it towards the schools?
It's allocated.
Homeless?
Exactly. It's
Put it to
allocated,
3 things, like homeless, schools, police.
which is what our people. So that's why I want to be your mayor.
You had to drop the mic.
That's why I want to be your
Drop,
mayor.
drop.
That's-
Right,
Speaking
Well,
truth to
we
power
can't
over here,
solve
Dave.
all that today, unfortunately.
But this was fun, and you were so much more political than you thought.
Really? Okay.
She's
thank
running.
you.
She's going to be running for future mayor.
Oh no.
Okay, good.
No.
2028.
Thank you.
2028. No, thank you.
All right, so
No
Kara
way.
Four.
I don't want any responsibility at
Well,
all.
She's
Leah.
never responsible for herself.
No, just for me.
Basically, she just goes
me,
with the flow.
myself.
No.
Just me, myself, and I.
Well, this was
That's
fun.
enough.
I had a great time with you all.
Good. I'm glad you
I
came.
did. I thank
Yeah.
you so much. I had a great time. I like
Whenever
these
with
real
John T,
conversations.
whoe's with John T is always having a fun time.
Yeah.
Usually, yes.
It's
Yeah.
kind of her a Las Vegas motto.
Is
Yeah.
it? Okay.
She's kind of known for that. in
Yeah,
the
that's
community.
me.
She's
Well,
always helping the people in
good
the
time.
community.
I
you
was
know what?
hinting like I'm.
What are you talking? You help people in the community.
Whatever, dude. Yeah.
I'm ignoring him.
Good,
I did
thank
have a
you.
good time, though.
Well, thank
yes.
you.
So Kara
Producer is
Four-
laughing at you right now, by
so
the way.
if people want to volunteer, they want to help out, they want to donate.
They can donate.
Kara 4,
Yeah.
lvmayor.com. Maybe we could put that up there as well.
Thank you.
And join the campaign to help Kara Jenkins, basically for Las Vegas mayor. Voting again. Tell us one more time. Voting is
June 11th.
June 11th is the
Early
day.
vote. Yes, it's the day. Early
Last
voting.
day, June 11th.
That's it. And then
That's it.
and then we rock and roll to the general election in November.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, do people have to have like an ID to be able to vote?
Yes, you have to just
Okay.
be a Nevada ID
Okay.
and over 18.
Okay.
And a U.S.
There's no
citizen.
registration or
You
anything
can.
like that,
We
right?
have same-day voting where you can register that day, but it's long. I would just say go online. It's super easy. You go to the Secretary of State's website and just register. It's like 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's it. You're in.
I'm laughing. I'm waiting for her to ask you how
What?
did Joe Biden get all those extra votes?
On that note,
All right, last
I think
question.
I know where you stand
Last question, then we're done. Do you think
Yes.
that Trump and Biden at the end of this all will be on the ballot and people are going to vote for these two?
I don't know. I'm just like you. I'm just
You
going to
have a
wait
vote?
and see.
Every day it's like,
something
I
different.
watch the news. I'm like, what is going on today? Like, what is?
I try to focus on local stuff because that's where it really meets. The rubber meets the road. Like our daily lives are more governed by traffic, job availability, housing. What's happening on the national stage is something that we are either picking the lesser of the two evils, no matter what side of the political aisle you fall on. And so, everybody, I wish you luck, but please do vote. And
Yes.
I really want you to vote locally, and I want you to vote for me.
Yes.
So get out and vote, Kara Jenkins for Las Vegas May. Thanks so much,
Yeah,
Kara, for
Dave.
joining us.
Thank you, my guy.
Have a great one.
And,
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
Everyone says you're. How come I'm not amazing?
Because you are not
What's going on with
amazing.
that? All right, so Kara, thanks so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you for having me,
and
you two.
Gentil, Dr. G, thank you so much for
Thank you,
co-hosting and
Gentil.
sharing your wisdom, intelligence. The questions are
Everything.
amazing.
And beauty.
All of that.
And beauty as
yes.
well.
Yes.
Beauty's the last. It's the intelligence what counts.
Yeah.
Otherwise, as the problem solver every single week, basically, we're trying to bring on some great people like Kara.
Thank you,
Talking about the
Dave.
community, how about helping people solving problems as well. You can go to theproblemsolver.vegas if you have a problem. You can call 702-999-1111, 702-999-1111. It's David Colmy, the problem solver, and John T2, Dr. G.
Oh, yes,
If you have any
me too.
problems, that's why
Yep.
we have the doctor in the house
Call me.
to help
I
out.
will
Yes.
answer your phone call at 3 a.m.
And Dr. G, her personal number is 1-833-JEAN-T.
Yes. Yes,
So
that's
a lot
it.
of people don't know that. So that's why I have it up there.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Jean T.
Yeah, give me a buzz.
She's toll free nationwide for anybody that wants to call.
Yes. Anyone.
She's standing by.
Standing by.
Okay, we'll see you next week. Be safe, be careful. Have a good one.
That was so fun.
Interesting to kind of close out some cases or identify some people that are missing persons. Specifically, if we can get some closure for people and get some justice.
And former police officer in Henderson,
It
Nevada.
says K-Bar and the United States Marine Corps. I mean, the truth is, it is a huge knife.
I'm Jenkins. I'm one of the top real estate investors in Las Vegas.
Tell Diana, look, I think that Kellis is going to kill me. Any videos where you have an officer basically, they don't have ID, they can't get into a hotel room.
You won't take no loss with us, you won't take no loss. Problem solvers, problem solvers. Yeah.